And with that, we welcome you to Sports Talk here on December 27th. Hope everyone enjoyed a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season from everyone here at the Sports Talk family. The show usually on Wednesdays at 4. We moved it up to Tuesday this week because I am unfortunately leaving for Orlando tomorrow. So the show would not have worked then. But starting next week, the show will be back to Wednesdays at 4, and we will possibly be adding a second show to the week because of how many athletes of the week we have lined up. So it should be exciting after next week. So what to expect today? Today we got some big Major League Baseball news to go over, as well as our second team of the week as voted by you guys. Then we move on to NBA, go over some scores and standings. After that, we'll take a short break, listen to some music from our DJ Lingboy. And after the break, we'll go over some hockey games tonight after the Christmas break, and as well as going over the standings. Move on to the NFL, go over some Week 16 scores, predict the Week 17 games, and go over the playoff picture. And then we'll end the show with college basketball rankings and college football. It is college football playoff week, so be excited for that. So it should be a fun show. Probably be about an hour long, but I hope you guys stay for it. So starting with Major League Baseball, big news coming out of Major League Baseball this week. Edwin Encarnacion, the DH from the Blue Jays last year, most notably hitting that walk-off home run in the wild card game, which was actually the day before my first show. If you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that out. I go on a little bit of a rant about how Encarnacion's been so good with the Blue Jays. And he signed with the Cleveland Indians this week for a 3-year, $60 million deal. So Edwin Encarnacion, his agent opened up this week about how he was not interested in re-signing with the Toronto Blue Jays. He signs with the defending American League champion Cleveland Indians, and we'll see how he does in Cleveland next season. Also in Major League Baseball news, Braves agree to a 5-year extension with center fielder Edgar Inciarte. Very good defensive center fielder. Very fast as well. Kind of reminds me of Billy Hamilton, just not quite as good in the outfield. But, yeah, he's got to work on the bat, though, if he wants to earn that money. So Atlanta hoping he can become the future building block of that team. Ben Revere signs a 1-year deal with the Angels to be their center, to be probably their left fielder, because they'll have Trout in center and Cole Calhoun in right. So that is the plans there in Oakland, or in LA, I'm sorry. And that pretty much concludes the big transactions this week, the ones that we'll go over. So moving on to the second edition of Major League Baseball Team of the Week. I opened it up to a vote for you guys. I said pretty much any American League team. And you guys wanted to see the team that Edwin Encarnacion just signed with, the Cleveland Indians. Of course, making it to their first World Series since 1997 last year. And coming up short, losing in 7 games after holding a 3-1 lead after Game 4 to the Chicago Cubs. But definitely one of the most feared teams in baseball this year, and they added arguably the best bat in the free agency class. So some key additions to the Cleveland Indians. We mentioned designated hitter Edwin Encarnacion this week, as well as they brought in catcher Eric Kratz, utility man Michael Martinez, and returning from injury is all-star outfielder Michael Brantley. Some key departures from last year's World Series runner-up team, outfielder Coco Crisp, third baseman Juan Uribe, and relief pitcher Jabba Chamberlain. Now we will go over the key prospects, the top 5 prospects in the Indian system. The first 3 on this list are projected to make their debuts this season, and the following 2, 4, and 5 are projected to make their debuts in 2018. So first, we have outfielder Bradley Zimmer, known or projected to be the next 5-tool player in the Indians organization, above average in contact, power, speed, glove, and arm. Just not great at anything, but good at everything. Second, you have left-handed pitcher Brady Aiken. Has very good breaking pitches, about a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Could be a key bullpen piece later on the season for the Indians, as they have a pretty sturdy starting rotation. But I don't see him becoming competing for a role in the starting rotation until at least next year. Third, you have first baseman Bobby Bradley, known for his power, He's kind of like last week's Cubs prospect that I forget his name, and I don't have my sheet from last week on me, but he has great power. He's going to probably be a 20, 30 home run guy, even if he plays like 3/4 of the season, but he strikes out a lot. So he's kind of your boom or bust option. He could be a good future DH if after Encarnacion retires or first baseman if Carlos Santana gets hurt. Moving on to the 4, this is not projected to make their debut until 2018. You have catcher Francisco Mejia. He is known for being one of the best defensive catchers in all of minor league baseball. Pitchers love to work with this guy. He calls games great. He has an average bat, but one of the best defensive catchers in recent memory in minor league baseball. And then number 5, you have right-handed pitcher Tristan McKenzie. He is kind of the opposite of Brady Aiken, in which his fastball hits 98, 99, but his breaking stuff is not major league ready. So he needs to probably spend another year at AAA, and we can expect to see Tristan McKenzie make his debut in 2018. So moving on to the starters, projected starters this year for the Cleveland Indians. We'll start with the starting rotation. Pretty similar from last year. A lot of injuries in the postseason to their starting rotation, but you have the ace Corey Kluber, the number 2 Trevor Bauer, and the number 3 Josh Tomlin, the 4 Carlos Carrasco, and the 5 Danny Salazar. And then moving on to the bullpen, of course, Andrew Miller, Brian Shaw, Jeff Manship, Dan Otero, Zach McAllister, and Cody Allen, the closer. Cody Allen and Andrew Miller were the 2 big guys that Terry Francona kept relying on in the playoffs, and it got him within a game of the World Series title. So they have definitely a very solid bullpen. Into the field, you have left fielder making his return, Michael Brantley. Center field, Tyler Naquin, the rookie from last year, finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. Right fielder, Lonnie Chisenhall. Catcher, Roberto Perez. First baseman, Carlos Santana. Second baseman, Jason Kipnis. Shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Third baseman, Jose Ramirez. And DH, Edwin Encarnacion. And now, finally, the projected record for the Cleveland Indians. I think they'll be very, very good. I think they're going to run away with the American League Central, and I think they're going to cruise into the playoffs on a very high note. But I am not giving any single Major League Baseball team this year 100 wins. And I have the Indians going 95 and 67. All right, so moving on to NBA action. Some scores from last night. The Wizards over the Bucks, 107-102. The Magic over the Grizzlies, 112-102. Nets over the Hornets on a buzzer beater from Randy Foye, 120-118. LeBronless Cavaliers lose to the Pistons, 106-90. Bulls over the Pacers, 90-85. A very clutch play by Dwayne Wade with about 10 seconds left to tip a pass intended for Paul George, run down the other end of the court and slam it down to put the game away. Pelicans beat the Mavericks, 111-104. Rockets over the Suns, 131-115. Timberwolves over the Hawks, 104-90. Trailblazers fall to the Raptors, 95-91. Nuggets over the Clippers, 106-102. And the Kings over the 76ers, 102-100. It was actually quite funny. DeMarcus Cousins in the interview after the game last night between the Kings and 76ers, when asked about Joel Embiid, the up-and-coming center for the 76ers, he said, and I quote, "I don't like to give a lot of props to a lot of players, but this guy is special. This guy is an up-and-coming player, and I could see him being the best big man in the league after I retire." So a little bit of a funny remark there from DeMarcus Cousins. I love Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins, very funny player, very great character, great personality. A little bit of a hothead, but, I mean, a lot of athletes are. So DeMarcus Cousins, pretty funny after the game last night. Moving on to the standings in the East and Western Conference. In the East, you have the Cavaliers going 23-6, leading the way. Raptors 2 at 21-8. Celtics 18-13. Hornets 17-13. Knicks 16-14, all the way up to the 5 seed. Hawks at 15-15. Bucks at 14-14, and the Pacers at 15-16, holding on to that 8 spot. Into the West, the Warriors now 27-5. The Spurs 25-6. The Rockets 22-9, the Clippers 22-10, Grizzlies 20-12, Thunder 19-12, Jazz 18-13, and the Kings in the 8th spot right now over the Trailblazers with a record of 13-17. So that's NBA action for this week. We will move on to the NHL now. And in the NHL, if you missed it this week, Jaromir Jagr, the 44-year-old veteran who's been playing in the league for 24 years, passed Mark Messier for second on the all-time points list. He's still over 1,000 points away from catching the all-time great Wayne Gretzky, but a very cool sight to see. I haven't been really watching hockey consistently until this year, and it's because of the Columbus Blue Jackets. But, wow. Jaromir Jagr, definitely a very special player. And he a very clutch player as well, by far the most game-winning goals of all time over Gretzky. And the crazy thing is, if Wayne Gretzky had never scored a goal in his NHL career, he'd still be the all-time points leader by 196 points. That's how good the great one was. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, you have Michael Jordan, you have Babe Ruth, you have Muhammad Ali, all these icons of sports, Michael Phelps, all these icons. But there might not have been one as good as the great one. Wayne Gretzky, just an amazing talent. But Jaromir Jagr, congratulations to him for becoming second on the all-time points list. Some games tonight, NHL returning from its Christmas break. You have the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the New Jersey Devils, Washington Capitals taking on the New York Islanders, Ottawa Senators against the New York Rangers, Boston Bruins taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Tops in the NHL with 50 points are the Blue Jackets in just 32 games played. Buffalo Sabres taking on the Detroit Red Wings, Minnesota Wild against the Nashville Predators, Winnipeg Jets against the Chicago Blackhawks, Calgary Flames taking on the Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars against the Arizona Coyotes, and the San Jose Sharks take on the Anaheim Ducks in the nightcap. So we'll move on to the standings in the NHL coming out of the Christmas break. Starting with the Atlantic, you have Montreal in first with 46 points, Ottawa in second with 43, Boston 3 with 40, Tampa Bay with 37, Florida with 36, Toronto with 35, Detroit 34, and Buffalo 32. Into the Metropolitan, by far, again, the most competitive division in the National Hockey League. Number 1, Columbus with 50 points, finally taking the lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins with a 7-1 drubbing of the Penguins last Thursday. And showing they are not messing around this year. They want to make a run for the Stanley Cup. In 2, you do have Pittsburgh with 49, 3 New York Rangers with 47, Washington with 44, Philadelphia with 44, Carolina 37, New Jersey with 33, and the New York Islanders with 32. Into the Western Conference, in the Central Division, the Chicago Blackhawks lead the Central Division with 49 points. Minnesota in second with 46, St. Louis 41, Nashville 35, Dallas 35, Winnipeg 35, and Colorado, the worst team in the NHL, with 25. And then in the Pacific, last but not least, San Jose won 43 points, Edmonton with 42, Anaheim with 40, Los Angeles with 38, Calgary with 38, Vancouver with 31, and Arizona with 27. So we are going to take a short break for station identification. This is called, this is another track from DJ Lingboy. We have played this one before on this channel, but it is such a good track, I thought we'd bring it back. This is Lucidity. I'll be right back with Sports Talk. All right, we are back here to Sports Talk. Shout out to, again, our DJ Lingboy, for his excellent mute tracks every single week here on Sports Talk. That, again, was Lucidity, which we debuted back on December 7th, but thought it could make a reappearance here on the show. So after the break here, we're moving on into the NFL. Week 16 happened from over a couple days because of Christmas weekend, where most of the games were on Saturday. There was 2 games on Sunday, a game on Monday, and a game on Thursday. But most of the playoff picture has been now formed in the NFL. Interesting fact, the Panthers and Broncos have both been eliminated from playoff contention, marking the first time that both Super Bowl teams have not made the playoffs since 2003, when the Raiders and Buccaneers both missed the playoffs. And the Panthers are the first Super Bowl team to finish the following season with a losing record since the 2007 Chicago Bears. So moving on into some Week 16 scores, you have the Philadelphia Eagles over the New York Giants, 24-19. Miami over Buffalo in overtime, 34-31. News out of the NFL today, Buffalo Bills have fired Rob Ryan and Rex Ryan. So clean house for the Bills. Ryan was 15-16 in 2 years as Bills head coach, but the Bills eliminated from playoff contention and now have the longest streak of no postseason appearances, now at 17 years. Also news from the Bills, Tyrod Taylor, starting quarterback, will be benched in favor of E.J. Manuel for the game on Sunday against the New York Jets. So we'll see how he does. Moving on, though, again, the Patriots over the Jets, 41-3. Wow. Tom Brady taking no one prisoner. Started off scoreless for like the first half of the first quarter, but wow, what a game for Tom Brady and the Patriots. The Jacksonville Jaguars upset the Tennessee Titans 38-17. Marcus Mariota, Titans quarterback, broke his leg in that game and will be out 4 to 5 months. So unfortunate for him. I wish him the best recovery. Green Bay over Minnesota, 38-25, officially eliminating the Vikings from playoff contention. Wow. They started the year 5-0, guys. We thought Sam Bradford was legit. Cleveland Browns fans, step up. They beat the San Diego Chargers 20-17. The Browns do not put the 0-16 in 2016. They put the 1-15 in 2015 because they're not beating the Steelers. Let's be real. But congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. Shout out to Athlete of the Week from a couple weeks ago, Chandler Wren, picking his hometown Browns. It eventually works out, huh? How about that? Yeah, Browns win 20-17. One of the funniest things I've seen in the NFL over the last couple of years. The Browns winning with about 5 seconds left. The Chargers were trying to kick a field goal to tie the game, which they eventually missed. And all the Browns fans are wearing paper bags over their head and trying to get hyped up. I'm like, if you're going to get hyped up, please take the paper bag off your head. Oh, but congratulations, Cleveland Browns. And since the 49ers won this week, they're probably going to get the number 1 overall pick too, so everything's coming up Cleveland this week. Washington Redskins over the Chicago Bears, 41-21. 33-16, Falcons beat the Panthers. Oakland Raiders over the Indianapolis Colts, 33-25, but heartbreaking news for Oakland fans. Superstar quarterback Derek Carr, broken leg, out for the rest of the season. Unfortunate news for Raiders fans. Again, Derek Carr, I wish him the best in his recovery from his broken leg, and I hope he comes back even stronger. New Orleans beats Tampa Bay 31-24. Arizona beats Seattle 34-31. San Francisco, like I mentioned, beats LA 22-21. Chip Kelly became the first NFL coach this season to go for 2 when trailing with under 5 minutes to go in the game. The Houston Texans beat the Cincinnati Bengals 12-10. Ugh. Wow. Heartbreaker. They cut Mike Nugent, signed Randy Bullock. Randy Bullock doesn't miss a field goal in his first game in 3 quarters. And I'm like, hey, we might have found a kicker. He missed the game-winning field goal. Wow. So, yeah, the Houston Texans win that game and also win the AFC South. Pittsburgh over Baltimore 31-27 to win the AFC North. Shout out to the Steelers. Congratulations. Kansas City over Denver 33-10. Eliminating the Broncos from playoff contention like I mentioned earlier. And the Dallas Cowboys behind Ezekiel Elliott and Dez Bryant last night defeat the Detroit Lions 42-21. So now we'll go into the week. We'll look at the playoff teams that have clinched a spot in the playoffs right now. The New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans, the Oakland Raiders, the Atlanta Falcons. I believe that's it. Miami, New York Giants, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions, Washington Redskins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, they all still have to clinch. So, it should be a very fun Week 17 to see which teams. Detroit takes on Green Bay in primetime. Winner takes the division. Loser most likely misses the playoffs. Should be a very fun game to watch. Baltimore. So we'll go over some Week 17 predictions now. Last prediction for the regular season this year in the NFL. Baltimore takes on Cincinnati from Paul Brown Stadium. I got to go Ravens. No Eifert, no Green. Dalton just has absolutely no help except for Brandon LaFell. And Brandon LaFell is not going to beat the Ravens. So I got to go Baltimore 27-17. Houston takes on Tennessee. No Mariota is going to really hurt the Titans. I got to go Houston in this game 21-14. Carolina takes on Tampa Bay. I like Carolina to get revenge on the Buccaneers and win this game 31-27. Jacksonville takes on Indianapolis. I like Lucas Oil Stadium. I like Andrew Luck to defend his home turf and get this win over the Jaguars 27-21. New England taking on Miami. As good as Miami's been this year, they are at home, but Tom Brady's just something else, man. I got to go with the Patriots. Final score 34-28. Chicago against Minnesota. I got to go Vikings just because they're at home. Bradford hasn't been playing awful lately, I guess. I got to go Vikings 31-21. Buffalo taking on the New York Jets. I'm going to go with the Jets in a shocker. Upset of the week. I'm going to go Jets 24-21. You move on to Dallas and Philadelphia. It depends. If Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott play, I like Dallas 31-17. If they don't play, I like Philadelphia 27-24. Cleveland takes on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh going to win this game. I'm sorry, Browns fans. I know you got your win. You got your win. You're going to lose to Pittsburgh, though, 34-16. New Orleans taking on Atlanta. I got to go with the Falcons. New Orleans, the second best offense in the NFL, but they have no defense, and the problem is they're playing the Falcons, who have the best offense in the NFL. So I'm going to go Falcons in a shootout, 42-35. Washington taking on New York Giants. Should be a fun game in that one as well, but I like the Giants to get the job done and clinch their spot in the playoffs, 28-24. Arizona taking on LA. I like the Cardinals in this one to ride a hot streak to end the season, even though they were disappointing this year. I like the Cardinals 31-21. Oakland taking on Denver. No Carr. Just going to be too difficult for Matt McGloin to help the Raiders beat the Broncos on the road. I like Denver 24-17. Kansas City taking on San Diego. I like Chiefs in this game. Chiefs obviously one of the better teams in the NFL. I like the Chiefs to win this game on game management, 27-17. Seattle takes on San Francisco. Don't even tune into this game, guys. Seattle wins 38-14. Green Bay takes on Detroit. I like the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions just because they're at home. I'm taking the Lions 31-28 to beat Rodgers and send the Packers home. So those are my Week 17 predictions. Feel free to leave your Week 17 predictions down in the comments on this YouTube video when it is done. Yeah, it should be a great week in college football or NFL. I'm just skipping ahead of myself a little bit here. But we will move on to college basketball now. We'll go over the rankings really quickly. 1, you have Villanova. 2, UCLA. 3, Kansas. 4, Baylor. 5, Duke. Behind a National Player of the Year candidate, Luke Kennard. Went to Franklin High School about 20 minutes away from here. But, yeah, Grayson Allen for the Duke Blue Devils suspended indefinitely for his 3rd tripping incident in a calendar year. Come on, Grayson Allen. Come on. Louisville 6, Gonzaga 7, Kentucky 8, North Carolina 9, and Creighton 10. West Virginia 11, Virginia 12, Butler 13, Wisconsin 14, Purdue 15. 16, you got Indiana, so 3 straight Big Ten teams there, 14, 15, 16. 17, Xavier, 18, Arizona, 19, St. Mary's, and 20, Florida State. 21, Oregon, 22, USC, 23, Cincinnati, 24, Notre Dame, and 25, Florida. So that's the college basketball rankings this week. Unless you don't pay attention to the world at all, you should know that this week is college football playoff week. So on Saturday, you have beginning with at 3 o'clock, not the Sugar Bowl, I forget. I think it's the Cotton Bowl, but it is from Tampa Bay. It is the Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the Washington Huskies in the, I believe, Cotton Bowl. Wow. Jalen Hurts. You've got Cam Robinson, the elite left tackle that I'm hoping the Bengals scoop up in the draft, but we'll see. You got Scarborough, the running back that's trying to turn into Derrick Henry. You've got that amazing defense. Alabama. I like Jake Browning. I like that Washington offense, but Alabama is just a suffocating team. And I'm going to go with the Tide in this one, 42-21. Now you go to the night game. That one should be a little more fun. It's between the number 2 seed Clemson Tigers and the number 3 seed Ohio State Buckeyes. You've got a great quarterback duel between J.T. Barrett and Deshaun Watson. Mike Weber for the Buckeyes as well. Curtis Samuel. Noah Brown, that 6'4" frame. He caught 4 touchdowns against Oklahoma. Then on defense for the Buckeyes, Raekwon McMillan, Tyquan Lewis, Defensive Lineman of the Year in the Big Ten. Garyon Conley, the cornerback. Malik Hooker, the safety. It's playmakers all over the field for Ohio State. But Clemson has playmakers too. And I like this to be a very good game. Would not be surprised if it comes down to the last drive of the fourth quarter or even overtime. But I got to go with my Ohio State Buckeyes, 31-29. I will next week provide my national championship prediction on the show on Wednesday, the 4th. But yeah, I'm definitely watching that game on Saturday. I'm going to be at the New Year's Eve parade in Magic Castle in Orlando, but there is no doubt in my mind I'm watching that game. So, Alabama, unstoppable, won't have a problem with Washington. Clemson, Ohio State will be arguably the best bowl game of the bowl season. So, we will end this show with just a couple announcements here. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. This was great, and I can't wait to be back next Wednesday from Orlando and ready to do another show, and then we can pick up with Athlete of the Week after that. So make sure you vote for, or let me know in the comments, what you want for next week's Major League Baseball Team of the Week. We will be moving back to the National League, but we can do teams such as the Washington Nationals. We can do the Los Angeles Dodgers. We can do the St. Louis Cardinals, San Francisco Giants, whatever you guys want to see. I might even be open to doing like the Boston Red Sox or something like that. But yeah, so that's that. Also, let me know what you think. on the current issues in sports, just Encarnacion's deal, the Warriors falling to the Cavs on Kyrie Irving's buzzer beater, whatever you want to talk about. I mean, I'm open to anything. I'm a sports nerd, so I pretty much will talk about, for crying out loud, I'm talking about hockey for 10 minutes a week. But yeah, it should be very thank you guys for tuning in. What am I forgetting? So I hope you guys all enjoy your New Year's. 2017 is coming. 2016 was a great year. 2016, I have memories that I will remember for the rest of my life. But 2017 is going to be better. I can feel it. So follow me for if you want updates on the show and also on what my plans are for the future. Make sure you follow me or you subscribe to my YouTube channel, S. Jacob Neal. You also follow me on Instagram under Shay Neal01, all lowercase there for Shay Neal. And then on Snapchat at Shay Neal143. So that will conclude this show. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. You guys keep me going. I love all of you. We're going to leave with some DJ Lingboy Electricity. I'll see you guys next time.